family offices have been around for years. Your article tells us they have exploded. Why?
Yeah, exactly, Mark. So family offices are basically businesses set up by people who have so much money that they need to hire their own staff.
What a shame.
Exactly. They need it to run their homes, their multiple homes, to handle their taxes and invest their money so it lasts over generations. And as we've seen the number of billionaires expand around the globe, we've also seen a number of them set up family offices.
So give us some prominent examples.
So you have Sergey Brin, you have Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, and now we're seeing in recent years some hedge fund managers and private equity managers as well.
Conflicts, are there any? What are they?
So when you look at the family offices that are being set up by hedge fund managers, several things come up as potential for conflicts of interest when we talk to people, because hedge fund managers who have family offices are also running the money of outside investors.
Sure.
So that's where it gets a little trickier. So the potential for conflicts of interest that have been raised are, if you have the family office based in the same place as your hedge fund, how are you allocating the expenses for office staff, research support staff? How is that being paid for? Are there any overlapping investments? If you invest in a small company and it grows into a bigger one that the hedge fund wants to invest in, how do you handle that? And then also the question of how much money of the managers is still in the hedge fund, because many managers attract investors by saying, I'm a great investor, come invest with me, and I'm putting my own money in the fund too.
It sounds like the problems that an investment firm would face with proprietary trading desks versus trading on behalf of their clients.
Yeah, and many of the hedge fund managers that we talked to said they have strict policies related to trades, and also that they pay all the expenses for staff. But this is something that investors don't always ask questions about, and they may want to.
Speaking of not asking questions, it seems to be a bit secretive as well. Why is that so?
Yeah, so the world of family offices is extremely secretive. Some of it is people are protective of their own families and their kids, and some of it is that they don't always want to tell people when they're buying a real estate property or setting up a trust and seeding it with certain things for their grandchildren and things like that.
Don't folks want that transparency? If they're trusting you and they're investing their own money with you, don't they want to know what's going on?
So I think that's one of the questions that's been raised, right, is how many of these hedge fund managers have actually said to their investors, hey, I have this other legal entity on the side. This is how I handle the investments in that, and it's separate from the firm in this way and that way.
Well, in terms of disclosure, what about regulation? How involved are federal regulators in all of this, if at all?
Yeah, so this is one of the things about family offices in general. They are even more loosely regulated than private funds like a hedge fund or a private equity fund. That's some of the appeal to very wealthy people, right? If you're only managing the money within the family office for, blood relatives, then you don't have to register with the SEC, which means you don't have to disclose your assets under management or some of the investments you're making.
You don't have to disclose for perhaps 5% stakes or 10% stakes?
You do still have to follow some of the SEC guidelines on that, or for filing a 13F if you have more than $100 million in public equities.
Is this on the agency's radars? Are they taking a look at this as well? Have there been any controversies that have hit their radar screen?
So we did ask the SEC about this. They said they certainly are noticing the growth of family offices and looking into it. And mainly their area of focus would be, are there any overlapping investments? And if there are, how and when is that disclosed?
All right. Margaret Collins of Bloomberg News, thank you so much. And of course, you can read Margaret's story on Bloomberg.com.